Well, we have conducted the longest and largest evacuation of any Western country, and I would like to pay tribute to everyone involved with it, whether it's armed forces personnel, diplomats, border force staff, and that has resulted in over 1,500 people being evacuated, the vast majority of whom are British nationals or their eligible dependents. What we have seen over the past 24 hours or so is a significant decline in the British nationals coming forward. Now, that's what you'd expect. It's what's happened with other countries. So what we're saying now is that people should expect within the next 24 hours, so by 6 o'clock UK time tomorrow, for us to cease those flights.
But that means you're going to abandon British citizens who haven't made it in that time, or who are having problems, as we're hearing now, getting relative partners, children, others out.
Well, I wouldn't accept that characterisation. The first thing I would say is that every single British national that has come forward and their eligible dependents has been put safely onto a plane. We are seeing those numbers declining significantly, and just like other countries, as those numbers decline, we have put an end date on this. What I would say is that even beyond that, we will maintain consular support in Sudan, particularly at the exit route, so both to the north, to the south, and particularly Port Sudan itself.
But it's not the case that everyone coming forward has been able to get out. We know of cases where the original advice was you could bring your partner, and if you're a British citizen, you could bring your partner, and there would be discretion at the airbase for people to go out. That hasn't been happening. There have been partners turned away. So why are these people not going to be brought out?
Well, we have been clear with our criteria all the way through in respect of this. What we have said is that if you are a British national, so you have a British passport, or have an eligible dependent, and in particular children, you will be able to get on a plane and get out. And that's exactly what has happened. What we have seen over the past 24 hours or so is a decline in those numbers. So just like other countries, we're saying you've still got another 24 hours to make your way to the airport. That gives us the longest and largest evacuation of any Western country, with over 1,500 people evacuated, the vast majority of whom are British nationals or their eligible dependents. And I think that this is an appropriate point that we have reached.
But you said spouses as well could come, and the stipulation was with a visa, but there was going to be discretion at the airport. That isn't happening. People are coming with spouses who are not being able to get on these planes.
Well, it is the case that border force staff are empowered to exercise discretion. It is the case that we, of course, have prioritised British nationals, people who have those passports, and we have also prioritised eligible dependents. As you would expect, the British government would say that eligible children should be prioritised. There remains that discretion in respect of others, and that has been exercised. There remains another 24 hours for people to make their way to the airport to ensure that they can take advantage of this. And in its totality, what we have seen is that we've had the largest and we've had the longest evacuation of any Western country, and every eligible person that's come forward has got on that plane.
Another group who've had no discretion exercised, people are doctors working in the NHS who have visas to be here, who are also being turned away. Are they not people that we should be bringing out?
Well, I'm aware of the case that you're describing, and we are in touch and engaging rapidly with the Sudanese Doctors Association to see what further support we can provide for them.
And there are many desperate people still in Sudan. British citizens will still be there. What do you say to them in 24 hours' time? What should they do?
Well, it has been the case that over the past 24 hours, the number of eligible British nationals coming to the airport has declined significantly. We said at the time to those people during that ceasefire window, they should expect that the flights would come to an end. What we are now saying to them is there is another 24 hours for people to be able to come forward, and the Foreign Office is setting out that. People may have a range of reasons why they choose to remain in Sudan, whether that's connections that they have in that country. It may be the case that people have gone to other parts of Sudan. And it will remain the case that even after this period of time, we are maintaining consular support at the other exit routes, and in particular at Port Sudan.
So what's your advice, though, to someone who is a British citizen who misses this window now? What are they going to do? What should they do?
Well, my advice to people is, first of all, we have been very clear that this would be a time-limited operation. We gave a very clear signal over 24 hours ago that people should expect that as the ceasefire comes to an end, we would be winding down the number of flights. We are now saying to those people, you have another 24 hours, if you're eligible, to make your way to the airport, and we will get you on a plane, just as we have done for every other person that has come forward who is eligible, making it the longest and largest evacuation effort of any Western country.
And if you say people should go to Port Sudan, I mean, there's no evacuation from there. The British ship that might evacuate people is thousands of kilometres away in Bahrain. It's in a different ocean.
What we are saying to people is, you have 24 hours still, on top of what we have already said in the longest and largest evacuation effort of any Western country. If you present yourself and you're eligible at the airport, we will make sure that you get on a flight just as we have done with everyone else. But it has been the case that over the past 24 hours, the number of eligible people has been declining.